Hello everyone, welcome back to Blue Ridge Silverhound. I'm your host Sean, and then of course we have another Monday market report. This one is for the week ending March 8th of 2020. We're doing a multi-week coverage to see how this coronavirus deal is affecting, well, just about everything. But in this particular case, coins. All right, is it affecting sales? Is it affecting just overall market? And on week two, I'd have to say that we are still looking good. People are still, business as usual. People are still buying high-profile coins for their collection. People are paying a lot of money. This has been probably one of the more active weeks since the beginning of the year. Believe it or not, I have quite a delight for you guys. We have 24 coins in total that we are going to take a look at on this video. Now, the big highlight for the second week in a row, mid-century, 1940s, 1950s, and now 1960s U.S. coins are all of a sudden dominating the sales scene. And I don't know quite what to make of it. Is it just a fad? Are people starting to kind of pull back and dipping their toe into the mid-century coins because they're still affordable? I don't know. But one thing I can tell you is we've seen quite a tremendous, uptick in sales, and just overall, the amount of money that these coins are selling for continues to go up every week. So I think the secret is definitely out. 40s, 50s, and 60s coins are no longer the inexpensive to own kind of coins. They are starting to go up in value. Okay, and that's in comparison to earlier coins pre-World War II. So, anyways, we're going to go ahead and get started. You see my little mouse pointer. If there's anything worth pointing out, just go ahead and take a look at the mouse pointer and you'll know exactly what we're trying to look at. And as always, like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, and to the video. Hit the bell for instant notifications, and I want to thank everyone for joining me on a Monday market report. It's been a little bit quiet here on the Blue Ridge Silverhound front as of lately. Not anything to do with this thing going on in the world today, the coronavirus. But it's definitely worth keeping an eye on. You would figure that, people will kind of throttle back on the spending. I don't know. This is the first time I've ever been in this type of situation. But I'm happy to just be here with you guys, kind of monitoring the situation. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the first coin. And this one right here is a 2014 Lincoln Shield Set. We're going to go ahead and kick it off with a pretty modern coin. Now, the example you see here is a PCGS Mid-State 65 red. But what really makes this above and beyond, a really unique coin is the fact that it is a double die obverse. So things like Liberty and the date, you're going to see this tremendous spread. It's an FS101 catalog number in the Cherry Picker's Guide. So you'll know exactly what it is. If you have the Cherry Picker's Guide, check it out. This is a really cool variety. Of course, you guys there on the East Coast are a beneficiary of coins like this. So make sure that you keep an eye out for these double dies of the 2000 teens. All right, there's a number of them out there, and they're all pretty valuable. Now, the one that we see here is sold on Great Collections for $317.25. All right, so all we have this week are nothing but Great Collections listings, sold items, no eBay, no other auction sites to speak of. We had a couple big auctions wrap up here in the last 2 weeks, but we've already addressed some of those. But yeah, all Great Collections this week, and we're going to kick it off with this Shield Set. So the next coin that we have here, probably one of the more stunning, surprising coins on the list. Again, just proving that ultra high graded, top pop moderns still in some way affect the auction scene. All right, this is a 1976 Philadelphia Lincoln Memorial Cent. It's a PCGS Mint State 68 full red, and this one sold on Great Collections for $4,050. Pretty crazy. What should you make of it? Again, heed caution. If you wanted to get into this type of not only collecting, but if you wanted to try and capitalize on the top pop market, again, it's really risky. Oftentimes, you're going to have to send a number of these coins into the graders like PCGS or NGC with the hopes of getting a coin that grades out this high. It's not easy, and you end up spending a lot of money. All right, just beware that this is not for the faint at heart. All right, so the next one that we have here is a really nice example of the 1972 Lincoln Cent that features the doubled die obverse type variety. All right, so this is DDO number 1. Okay, it's the big dog of it all. There's about 10 or 11 different doubled dies for 1972. This one, of course, doubling on the date, doubling on liberty, and in the motto. Incredible coin. Now, the coin that's sold on Great Collections is a PCGS Mint State 67 full red. However, it's worth noting that there have been a 68 and a 69 that have sold here within the last year or so. So this one right here, it's not the highest grade, but it is a really nice, pleasing example for the individual that wants this coin. Now, this one sold on Great Collections for $2,700. I would say that's a pretty good number for this type, and the grade is just a peach. It's a nice coin. All right, the next one that we have here is a Lincoln Wheat Cent back. It's a 1950 AD. It's one of your perennial common dates. However, this one is an ultra-graded PCGS Mint State 67 Plus. Full red example. As you can see, this is what a 67 Plus looks like. You know, I would say I'm kind of on the fence on this coin and the overall technical grade. You know, all these planchet nicks, and you know, there's a few other nicks on the highest points of the coin. 67 Plus, I don't know if I quite agree with that. But anyways, this is a coin that is also CAC certified. So the folks over at CAC thought that PCGS made the right call in assigning a 67 Plus full red on this coin. All right, it might look better in hand rather than on these images, but in any event, this coin sold for $1,633.13. So the next one that we have here probably looks worse off than the previous coin. It's a 57D Lincoln Wheatback Cent. This one is the same grade. It's a 67 Plus, full red, CAC certified. And this coin right here, you can just tell it has a lot more issues, you know, for the grade. It probably doesn't grade no higher, in my estimation, than maybe a 66 Plus. The fields are generally pretty clean around the coin. And on the reverse, we do have a little carbon spot action beginning to form here, and then we have the whatever this is. Not sure if that's on the actual holder or if that's on the coin. But this one right here at a 67 Plus full red CAC certified, believe it or not, knocked home $3,826.12. Quite a bit of money. Quite a bit of money for a coin with a few question marks. And the earliest penny coin on the list is going to be this 1929S. Now, this one is an RPM. All right, it's an S over S. You can see the little bit of the S just to the south of the primary S. This one is a PCGS Mint State 65 red, which in hindsight isn't a super incredible grade. I mean, they did assign full red in spite of the fact that most of the coin looks more like red-brown. So, you know, with the earlier teens and 20s Lincoln cents, the graders do give a slight leeway depending on the actual appeal of the coin, eye appeal, at first glance. Now, this one right here, because of the repunchment mark, it's one of the earliest RPMs of the Lincoln Cent series. This one sold for $2,137.50. All right, how about we jump into some nickels, and we're going to go ahead and start it off on the 2004 P Jefferson Keelboat nickel. Now, as you guys know, in 2004 and in 2005, the U.S. Mint had decided to do something a little bit different, okay, to help kind of ease the transition from the current Felix Schlag portrait that you see here into the newest design that would be released 2 years later. Now, the reason why this is here isn't because of a strong strike. Normally with Jefferson nickels, we would closely associate full steps, all right? As we can see, we don't have Monticello on the reverse. We have this different westward journey type nickel design, all right? So the Lewis and Clark Keelboat nickel is what we have here. Now, keep in mind, it's a PCGS Mint State 68. You would figure, if you could find one this clean, you could expect either a 67 or 68. For it to be worth anything, it has to be a 68. Okay, the example you see here sold for $704.25. So that gives you an idea how much these coins are at the highest grade level for 2004 and 2005. All right, so the next one that we have here is this 1965 Jefferson nickel. Okay, it's not your standard business strike coin that we normally see in pocket change or in coin roll hunting. But this is what we call the pseudo proof coin. Okay, it's a special mint set, special strike coin. So if you guys are not familiar with the SMS sets of 65 to 67, the U.S. Mint was trying to get away from doing proof sets. And because of the public outcry, they have decided to do something a little bit different. All right, instead of a proof set, they only had time to work dies for a special mint set for a 3-year gap. Now think of it as kind of like a best combination of a business strike and a proof coin. You put them both together, and you have a really nice, well-struck business strike coin. Now this coin right here is a PCGS SP66 Deep Cameo. All right, so there are a few examples out there that exhibit proof-like surfaces where you have the nice black mirrory fields, and then you have a lot of frost on the main devices of the coin. Okay, so during this time, they did produce Deep Cameo special mint coins. Okay, and they're really easy to spot in a holder. Now this coin right here is a SP66 Deep Cameo. It's also worth mentioning that this is also a previous throw tag provenance coin. Okay, and this one sold for $1,249.88. Excuse me. The next nickel. Now we're going to have a couple of nickels on the list that probably will not knock your socks off in terms of eye appeal. We have a 1963D as our first example here. This is a PCGS Mint State 65 full steps. Now keep in mind, we do have a few full steps, but this looks hardly anything close to full steps. We have a lot of these planchet nicks. We even probably have a couple artificial bag marks on there. We do see one here in upper fields. And then you have just an assortment and array of different little nicks and scratches all over the highest points of the coin. So automatically I have a huge problem with this example. However, someone saw enough, I guess, value in this coin to be able to pay $5,512.50. Again, this kind of like early 60s, late 50s Jefferson nickels with full steps is what I consider to be kind of like a red zone. I would certainly heed caution if you're going to buy some of these coins. A lot of them are pretty suspect when it comes to the actual grade of the things. So you want to make sure that the coin that you are indeed going to either send out to the graders or buy for yourself for maybe a registry set exhibits as well as possible of full steps on Monticello. That can be a little bit tough. Again, $5,500 coin right here if someone was willing to pay for it. All right, same with this one. A 1957P. Okay, it's got no mint mark here on the reverse. Again, you have some steps that look rather suspect on this. It is a PCGS Mid-State 66 Plus full steps coin. This one just has way too many problems to be an investable kind of coin. This one sold for $2,812.50. Again, a big red flag on these late 50s, early 60s Jeffersons. And then here you go. Here's another one. It's also one of my favorite dates because I know how ridiculously tough and how stupid this date is. Just to find one with full steps, which, by the way, again, I don't think it has full steps. But I find it hard to believe that the graders would grade a coin like this on a curve because there's not a whole lot of examples that exist with the full steps designation. Now, this is a PCGS Mid-State 66 full stepper, and it's sold for $1,462.50. A little bit on the low side compared to the other ones, but again, you know, you're really rolling the dice when you're investing in these coins. And then finally, probably the more promising coin out of the four that I just showed you, a 1952's Jefferson nickel. Now, this is one of the tougher dates to find with a full strike. Now, this one right here, this is a little bit more convincing for full steps. It is also a PCGS Mid-State 67 FS. This is just an incredible coin. And because of that, it commanded a rather incredible price as well. $12,938.62. You get into some of these sweet spot dates where full steps are few and far between. You have some coins that have the ability to eclipse 5 figures each and every single time. This is one of those examples. You know, I don't know if I would say it'd be a safe bet to own this, but there can't be too many more of these earlier 1950s Jefferson nickels with a full strike that's indicated as such through a grader. It's crazy. This is probably my one favorite nickel out of the whole bunch. It's a 1949. Keep in mind, this one is a really well-known variety. It's the D over S over mint mark. All right, so you can see a little partial S right there. Okay, and there's the D. All right, so it's very, very evident, especially on coins that grade at a really nice mint state level. So like maybe a mint state 63 and up. You know, this variety is very distinguishable. It's a PCGS Mint State 66 Plus, no full steps. Okay, that's pretty obvious. CAC certified. And then this one right here sold for a very respectable $2,556. Really cool example. All right, and one in which that I personally, if I had means and I was into this kind of collecting, this one would definitely be high on the list. And then finally, we're going to end it off on this gem right here, a 1937's Buffalo Nickel. One of my favorite designs, and sure enough, probably some of your favorite designs as well, of early Americana. This one right here is not what I would consider to be a rare date. 37S is actually one of the more common dates of the Buffalo Nickel series. Now, this one right here is a stunner. It's a PCGS Mid-State 67, CAC certified. It's a previous SRO-tag collection. There's a number of those coins that did sell on the list. This one sold for $3,375. A really pleasing example. And, you know, if money grew on trees, this is a solid pick for an investment. All right, so we have a couple dimes. How about a 1949D? Okay, the D is right there on the reverse. Now, this example right here exhibits some pretty original toning, albeit a lot of it is featured on the reverse. Okay, usually with coins like this, collectors, investors like to see this type of toning on the front of the coin more so than the reverse. This is an incredibly high-graded example. It's a PCGS Mid-State 68 full bands, full torch, so you have fully defined lines that separate the top and bottom set of bands. And with the toning, okay, this is a coin that sold for $1,224, proving that, again, for a number of weeks straight, we have seen some Roosevelt dimes that are being purchased and bought up, and people are running them up over $1,000, and there always seems to be one or two, which is cool. There is some respect level being given to this series, in which, for the longest time, nobody really cared about the Roosevelt dime series. So I would definitely keep an eye out for this series and some of its keys. So we have a Mercury dime right here, a really beautiful representation of this coin, much like the Buffalo nickel that we saw a few minutes beforehand. This is a 44S, not a rare date. As a matter of fact, over 49 million pieces of this date were produced. What makes it a little bit tougher is just the overall cleanliness of the coin. You have a lot of original toning, which is really pretty on this coin. In addition, you have full bands, full torch, full bands on here as well. It's a PCGS Mint State 68 Plus. To give you an idea, that is a ridiculous grade for a coin that is knocking on the door of 80 years old. It's really, really, really incredible. One of my favorite designs, okay, this coin right here. I don't know, you tell me. It sold for $20,250. For the price of a new car, you could have this 10-cent dime. I suppose there are worse things that you could buy. At least with this piece, you could pretty much get your money back if you wanted to resell it through one of the auction sites. A really cool looking coin here. All right, we have quarters for days. All right, so the quarters are going to just about round out the top of the list. I got $1.50 at the very end. A 1968p. We wouldn't typically think that this would be anything worth mentioning, but this coin right here, it's a really nice PCGS Mint State 68. In the business, it's what we would call vanilla. There's no toning to speak of. The luster is about as good as it gets for this date. It's not. There's not a whole lot of other things to really say about it to give it, I guess, the extra edge to make it more unique. But this coin right here, a really nice, pleasing, I would guess, registry set example, sold for $1,743.75. Pretty nice. So if you like crusty toners, maybe this 1962D is just for you. This was one that sold on Great Collections this evening, and again, there's been a few of these kind of like, I call them spray bottle toners, all right, because, it looks like it has a pattern of someone spraying, some toning right on the coin, and it would kind of look like this, okay? You have a lot of bubbly round occlusions here with a lot of beautiful toning that goes around it. This is a very original crusty coin, is what we refer to it in the business. It's a PCGS Mint State 62 example, so it's a nice healthy grade. And this one right here sold for $1,746. I know you're probably thinking to yourself, it's kind of hard to believe that a coin like this, with such a high mintage, with a toning that could be a love it or hate it type of toning, would command this kind of money. But the bidders have spoken, and that's what they bid it up to. All right, here's another scoop of vanilla for your Sunday. It's a 1960D Washington quarter, another well-represented Washington quarter in the mintage ranks. This one, however, is an NGC Mint State 67, so it's a nice, well-to-do grade right here. It's a nice, clean example. It's probably going to head into a registry set at one point. This one here sold for $1,049.62. All right, and then we have a toned piece which looks probably a little bit more on the desirable side. It's a 1957D Washington quarter. This one is a PCGS Mint State 67 Plus. It's also worth mentioning that it's CAC beamed as well. You have a lot of nice even toning on the reverse. And then you have that spotty kind of end toning appeal on the front. You know, it's got a nice look to it. I would imagine in hand under the right lighting, a lot of these greens, yellows, and pinks will show up a heck of a lot better through the luster. This one right here sold for $2,643.75. A really nice coin. We have a few left. So here's another 57. This time it's a Philadelphia. There's no mint mark under the wreath right here. This one is a nice high-graded PCGS Mid-State 67 Plus. It's CAC certified. And then another registry set component. This one right here, common date, you know, like a lot of them are during the 50s. This one sold for $1,267.88. All right, so we have more eye-appealing coins. This is a 53S. A lot of edge toning on this, which might indicate that this was probably in an album at one point, and it stayed in there for a number of years, if not decades. This is a PCGS Mid-State 67 Plus CAC certified with the toning. It's also a Sunset Collection Provenance piece. This one sold for $1,039.50. One of the true bargains out of the lot. Here's a 1940D. All right, a little bit earlier dated Washington quarter. It's not quite in the 30s where it gets really difficult, but this one right here is a nice, even PCGS Mid-State 67 Plus. Probably looks very lustrous in hand. CAC certified. It was also graded with the OGH retro type holder that they still produce today. When you go to grade your coins, you can pay a few extra bucks to have it garnished with the old green holder design of the label. And that's what this says. It says 30th anniversary, so they're all going to say that for the modern ones. This particular coin right here is a Sunset Collection piece. It sold for $2,617.88. And finally, we are going to go back to the 1955 Franklin half dollar. I believe this one had sold at one point, and then now it went back for sale. This one right here, not my favorite toning. This whole kind of black hole, grayish kind of patina on this, in my estimations, is probably undesirable. Again, it probably looks better in hand. If I wanted to kind of give it any credence, you know, in the auction scene. But this one right here is a nice, healthy PCGS Mid-State 67. It exhibits full bell lines, so it's got the nice strike on the reverse. You can see the letters and stuff on Liberty Bell. That's another hallmark for a well-struck Franklin half dollar. It's a 55. It's a date in history in which a lot of U.S. coins were not released for circulation and tendencies. You know, the 55 dimes, the 55 quarters, a lot of these were preserved in the highest grades. But finding one that grades at this level is a little bit difficult. Now, what is all this worth? Well, this one sold for $5,465.25. So, that is going to wrap up the Monday market report for the week ending March 8th of 2020. We are slowly coming to spring. If it's anything like last year, I expect the strong sales to happen. Okay, there's been a lot of performance going on within the mid-century card of U.S. coins. So I would expect to see this continue. Okay, well, what's it going to take for the market to turn? Well, I'm not sure. You know, seeing what comes out of the U.S. Mint is going to help. That might kind of reinvigorate the modern coin scene a little bit further. You know, if last year was any indication, I would probably suggest that you guys keep an eye out for what is about to come. So stay on those press releases from the U.S. Mint, stay on Coin World's website or Coin Week, whichever your flavor is, and you're bound to get some pretty juicy, spicy things happening for 2020. So I want to thank everyone for watching the Monday Market Report. As always, it's a huge pleasure. I love doing these for you guys. As always, like, share, and subscribe. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. As always, Coinaholics, we are discovering together. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful Monday. Don't work so hard, and then we're going to continue the coverage as we go on this whole coronavirus bit. So anyways, you guys take care, and I'll see you next time.